Hello internet, it's Vic. I got stuff, finally. But it's still not focusing. But this is testosterone. It's so little and cute. Oh my god, okay. Holy shit, that's a big needle. Oh my god, yo. Should I watch or not? Well, that was my first testosterone shot. Oh my god. Worth it. It's worth it. It's worth it. So it begins. November 26, 2018 is my first T-shot date, and we'll see the progress. I have officially been on testosterone for 1 month. Passing does not determine whether or not you're really male or you're really female. Just because you pass or don't pass to society doesn't mean you're not the gender that you identify with, or the gender you don't identify with, non-binary. I've always wanted to pass as male. Not necessarily cis. I am proud of being trans. I've done a lot of thinking about whether or not I wish I was cis. I'm proud to be trans, but I do wish that people wouldn't misgender me. I get misgendered a lot. This past month has been really tough for me. I know it's this internal dysphoria that I'm battling, and it's this constant weight that I have pushing down on my shoulders, and I know it may not be even that big of a deal, but to me it's rough. I didn't think that being on testosterone would just take my dysphoria and just throw it away somewhere. You know, I knew that it was gonna linger. Let's get into some of these changes. November 27th, literally the night of, I woke up and I had to pee, and I'm half asleep, and I go to wipe, and I'm like, that feels different. And yeah, when you take testosterone, you're going to have some clitoral growth. Okay, that's it. I'm not using it anymore. From now on, I will refer to it as my dick. My sex drive, or libido, skyrocketed. So then my sides started to fill in. The fat redistribution is over the course of a year on testosterone. I started to gain weight in different places, and I've been eating a lot more. All this food that I'm consuming and eating, it's going different places. My sides, not my stomach. I'm not getting a gut. I'm just filling out. The 29th of November also, I started my menstruation. Now I knew that was gonna happen. I was kind of expecting to have one more, and I don't know, I might have another one, but it didn't last as long, and I didn't have as much cramps, and it wasn't as heavy. My voice was another thing that has kind of been fluctuating. I know in the first couple of weeks of being on testosterone, my throat was kind of scratchy, like I was recovering from a sore throat, and there's some moments where when I'm singing, my voice will go in and out. So my voice is getting deeper. It's just, it hasn't done that drop yet. I've noticed that I'm stronger. Hair on my upper arms and thighs are coming in way darker by the 16th. My breast tissue, or fat, was reducing. When I took my binder off, I noticed that my chest, the mass, wasn't as mass. It was more loose. My Adam's apple is prominent now. It's sticking out. I noticed that my shoulders are a lot broader. I really did want to touch on this other part, the mental changes of being on testosterone. But I did have this overwhelming feeling of happiness, the feeling of a burden being lifted off my shoulders. I no longer dreaded waking up and getting out of bed. I knew that with testosterone, there would be some things that are kind of iffy. I'm not saying this in a negative way, I've been able to deal with it. You don't feel things the same. I've always been able to express my emotions, and I've always been able to identify my emotions, and I've always been able to feel my feelings really well. Now I don't feel emotions like that anymore. They're not very strong. They're just kind of there. Since starting testosterone, I haven't been able to cry. You've watched my XY Chronicles. There's a few sprinkled in there where I do break down and start crying. It was right here. The feeling of I'm gonna cry was right here in my throat, in my chest. I was ready to cry. My eyes didn't even water up. I really can't cry. Yeah, I felt the sadness, or I felt the heartbreak, or I felt the anger, or I felt the weight. I felt it, but I just couldn't emote. And it's different. I'm not saying it's bad. I've been able to feel them and identify them, but I've not been able to emote, to actually express them. Anger, that's one that was whoa, chill. Also, my dysphoria has been really strong, like I said before. It really weighs heavy on my mental, so that's been kind of hard lately. And it's hard to share those feelings with others because, you know, people will be like, what's wrong? What's going on? You seem different. You seem like you've been distancing yourself. Yeah, that's my coping mechanism. Thank you for noticing. I don't want to, every single time I get asked what's wrong, I don't want to be like dysphoria, because it's like, oh, of course. It's like, yeah, it's something I battle daily, constantly. I'm dysphoric about a lot. My mom did raise a daughter for 23 years. So I get it. I don't hold that over her anymore, but it is still hard when you're told that you're confused. This is my 1 month update, and thanks for checking out my journey and going through it with me. It's been fun so far. Here's to many more changes.